BIS-ManageBac tutorial. This is Eddie Z, and today we're going to be discussing the gradebook for the MYP and DP program, how to access the gradebook, how to modify the gradebook, and how to input student grades or achievement levels. So let's take a look first at an MYP gradebook, and to do so I'm going to head over to my Design Technology Grade 9 Section B class. From here I'm going to go over to Tasks, and from Tasks I'm going to head over to the right hand side in Gradebook. In this gradebook view, you can see that all of the assessment tasks are available and all of them have grades already placed in. But I'm just going to go ahead and enter one of my assessment tasks. In this gradebook view, you can see that this evaluation paper has already passed, which means that this gradebook is now available for me to input grades. And I have the ability to input those grades for the criteria that I have chosen to assess against. So for this evaluation paper, I have chosen to evaluate against the criterion E in Design Technology. From here, I can then choose the achievement level, and in Design Technology, MYP, the achievement level goes from 0 to 6. Where it says NA, that refers to not assessed. 0, 1, 2, 3, and 6 being the highest ranking that you can give a student for this particular assessment. So choosing these assessment levels are very easy. In the MYP program, please be aware that there is no GPA or averages or grade weighting that occurs. The MYP focuses on the best fit approach for grades. Now, please do not confuse these assessment grades with the term grades. The term grades, which you can access in the same gradebook, refers to the overall grade that you assign a student in a particular term. So for instance, in this March interms, I will use the assessment data that I have here, which refers to the achievement scores of individual assessments, and then I will apply the best fit judgment or the best fit approach to assign an overall assessment grade. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at a DP gradebook. Okay, so now we're going to be taking a look at a DP class in a DP gradebook. So here I am in the IBDP German A Language and Lit grade 11. In order to access the gradebook settings, I need to go into the class settings. So here the button on the overview page, clicking on that will enter the class settings. From here you can see several tabs: General, Teachers, Grades, and Assessment or Assignment categories. Let's go ahead and click on Assignment categories. As a department, you should have come to an agreement as to which assignment categories you would like to assess students on and which weights would be applied to these assignment categories. In this Language A class, you can see that they split their assignment categories between literature and critical analysis, reading, understanding, writing, and oral language and presentations, and applied a weight of 25% each. Now, if you do make any changes to your assignment categories or weights, make sure that you press the Save Changes button in order for those changes to apply. Okay, now that we've updated or we've changed our assignment categories, let's go ahead and take a look at our grading boundaries for this particular class. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Grades. From here you can see that each mark, in this case 1 through 7, is applied according to what percentage the assessment is worth. So let's just say that a student scores 86% or greater, that will result in a mark of 7, and so on for 6, 5, and all the way down to 1. Each one of these fields you can change, including the percentage of each mark. Make sure again to press Save Changes to any modifications you made, and then go ahead and return to class. Let's take a look to see how this looks like when we actually create a new assessment for this class. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the Assignments category, and I'm going to add a new assignment. My apologies to this person who is the teacher of this course, but I will make sure to delete this quickly right after. I'm going to go ahead and type Example Assessment. I'm then going to choose a category for that assessment, and recall that each category is weighted differently. I'm going to apply a maximum point value, and this is your raw point values. So in this case, I'll create an assessment that is worth 30 points. I will designate whether it is for higher or standard level. Now, if your course only has higher level students, then you may not see this, and the same goes if your course only has standard level students. Enable Dropbox, notify students by email, enable Turnitin. These, of course, are optional. Apply a due date. In this case, I'm going to apply a date that's happened already, and I'm going to add an assignment. From here, as the assignment has already passed, I have the option for my gradebook, and I'm going to enter into the gradebook. And let's just say that Felix Hour, I have an assignment that was worth 30 points. I'm going to give him 25 out of 30 points. And that will result in an IB grade of 6 according to my grading boundaries. 25 points will result in an IB grade of 6. If I was giving him 15 points, that will result in an IB grade of 4. So you can see how that works. The raw point value gets translated into a modified point value, which is your IB grade, and that is according to the grading scale that you set for each class in your class settings. Okay, now how does the weighting work for the class? That comes into play when you go about submitting your term grades. Your term grades, the average that a student will receive is based on the grade weights that you applied and how many assessments you created under each assignment category. So, for instance, if you created only assignments for one category, then it will apply the weight according to that category. If you created assignments for multiple categories or within multiple categories, then it will average those assignments according to the weights that you designated. Please be aware, ManageBac does not have an ability to modify the grading scale or weight for individual assessments. It also does not have an ability to modify the grading scale for higher or standard level students if you have a mixed course. Now, this can be problematic for some teachers. I recommend that as a department, you sit down and you hatch out a grading scale and a set of grading weights or assignment categories that can be applied for both higher and standard level students, which will provide you as close to an accurate picture of that student as possible. Now, that may sound a bit difficult, but those are the limitations that we need to work in. When this goes out to parents, when parents are given parental access to ManageBac, a letter will be sent out indicating that the academic or the academic progress that is shown on ManageBac may not reflect as accurate as a picture as we would like. So please be aware of its limitations. All right, well, this is Eddie Z, wishing you a very fine evening. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email or schedule an appointment with me.